Hinchinbrook Island, located in tropical Queensland between Townsville and Cairns, is part of Great Barrier Reef Marine Park. The eastern shore of the island consists mostly of sandy beaches and rocky coastline. That is where the adventure seekers can go on a walk along Thorsbourne Trail, a 4-day walk through this beautiful national park. Hinchinbrook Channel, spreading between the island and the mainland, consists mostly of mangrove forests with an approximately 200-kilometer long network of water canals. It is a croc country and all visitors need to be very careful. Saltwater crocodiles inhabiting this area are spotted here on a regular basis, and signs warn to be croc-wise. We are dropped off to the island by Hinchinbrook Island Cruises, a local operator organizing transfers on a daily basis and the only one licensed to operate to both ends of the Thorsbourne Trail. After about an hour-long trip, we finally arrive at a small jetty situated amongst mangrove forests. From here, a short walk leads us to the eastern coast of the island. We will be walking in a conventional way, meaning from the north end of the island to the south, the direction followed by most walkers. In the distance, we can see covered by rainforest mountains of Hinchinbrook Island. At the beginning, the trail leads along Ramsey Beach. Clouds covering mountaintops do not predict fine weather for the next few days. During low tides, crabs find shelter in little holes they dig in the sand. Big boulders cover the southern end of Ramsey Beach. From here, the track turns inland into the rainforest. I should mention that the track is not improved in any way for the benefit of the walkers. You won't find here steps, pavements or boardwalks. Instead, you have to make your way through forests, marshes and rocky creek beds. Only from time to time, a sign fixed to a tree trunk shows the way. After a small ascent from Ramsey Beach, we make our first creek crossing. Unlike some others awaiting for us in the days to come, this one is absolutely dry. Shortly afterwards, we arrive at Black Sand Beach. It is a very short beach, and after a while we find ourselves back in the forest. Here the track suddenly becomes steeper. Fallen trees along the path are beautifully sculpted by erosion. After another half-an-hour journey, we arrived at a saddle between mountains. Here, a little cairn marks a turn-off towards Nina Peak. Bożena decides to stay here for a little rest, but I'm heading along a very steep path uphill. The top of Nina Peak is 312 meters above the sea level, and it clearly dominates above the surroundings. From here, there are magnificent panoramic views towards the eastern coast of the island. Towards the west, you can also see the mangrove forests of Hinchinbrook Channel. Ramsey Beach, where we started today's adventure, extends to the north. Way up was quite tiring, so this is a perfect opportunity to sit down, relax and enjoy the views. After coming back down to the main trail and meeting Bożena, we advance further south along bouldery path. On our way, we cross multiple small creeks. The water level is very low, so we are lucky, at least at this stage, not to get our feet wet. After lunch, we reached the first camping spot along the trail, Nina Bay. We see here a purpose-made hanging structure for backpacks and a steel box for storing food. Both of them are provided to protect against the appetites of local native fauna. The camping is tucked away between trees at the entry to the beach. As tempting as it is, we decide not to stay, but rather to move further in a hope to reach the second camping ground before sunset. The beach is beautifully sculpted by crabs finding shelter from sun in the moist sand. The coastal landscape quickly changes. Sand gives way to eroded rocks and boulders. The wet surface is slippery and walking becomes slower and more difficult. Behind us, in the distance, we can still see Nina Peak. After climbing another small hill, we stop for a while to catch breath. It's already a mid-afternoon when we arrive at Boulder Bay. As the name suggests, the entire bay is covered with rocks and boulders of differing shapes and sizes. Now we move really slowly and watch every step. After all, it would be a shame to slip and injure ourselves on the first day of our journey. Finally, we successfully negotiated this part of the trail. As planned, still before sunset, we reach Little Ramsey Bay, the location of the second camping ground on the trail. After a short break and after setting up the tent, we start to prepare the dinner. Today, 2-minute noodles are on the menu. I'm sure that after the whole day of walking with a heavy backpack, they will taste like the most exquisite dinner in a luxurious restaurant. Shortly before sunset, we go for a walk along the beach. Here, resting on a trunk of a fallen tree, we reminisce our today's adventures.